I'm going to pull up my bra a little bit. There's a code word for wardrobe malfunctions if they happen, so be not afraid. Hi, everybody. I'm welcoming everybody online. I just finished welcoming everybody in the room. Hilda's miking me up so you can hear me. Happy Samhain. I am so happy that you are here. In the room, there's sort of a quiet vibration because we just finished listening to some music together to sort of open the space, but I'm so glad that you are here. Hi, everybody. Here we are. We're ready to go. So we've got, I'm a little caught here, Hilda. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. I see a hi from all over the place. It's really nice to know where you guys are checking in from. We've got a Massachusetts Go Patriots. I love it. So we can be athletic. I'll say Go Dodgers. Is that fair? I have to do that. I'm sorry. I'm also an Astro fan. So talk about schizophrenia. It's not an easy week for me. So last night we're watching the game and I'm like, because I'm such a huge fan of some of the players on the Astros that I kept catching myself because my son was like, you can't cheer for them. But I know I love him too. So anyway, it's good to see you guys. Sorry, hold on, I'm getting caught there again. There we go. You're good. Am I good? Can you guys hear me okay? Sounds good? Okay, we're about to have great sound. So it's so good to see you guys. I'll be happy whoever wins the World Series, I have to say, although they got to represent LA well. Nice to see you. Love that. Love that. And we actually have some beautiful people in the room from different parts of our country, too. From Denver, Colorado. Paulette is here. Thank you for coming. Oh, my goodness, you're here. And we have an entire family, the most beautiful, divine, beautiful family from Las Vegas. So I want to thank you guys for driving all that way. I can't tell you what that means to me, truly. I've tried to articulate it to you, how special it is to me. So thank you for being here. I just want to really acknowledge you guys in the room. Cheers to you. No, cheers and cheers. I know. I'm not crying now, but I was a little bit earlier. It's one of the beautiful things is like when I was able to put my arms around Paulette tonight, for example, it's really special because we have an online connection and that's special too, but there's something about bringing it into the physical and it's as powerful for me when that happens as it is for you. So I know the chat room is a little crazy right now, but we're just excited because it's flippin' Samhain tonight, Samhain Eve. So cheers to you and thank you for being here to celebrate this incredible holiday. So as most of you know, this is one of the highest holidays of the year, what we call a major Sabbath, yeah? In the pagan tradition. And Samhain is a pagan holiday. We're going to talk about, thank you, by the way, for noticing I'm dressed up. It doesn't look like it. My husband's like, is that really a costume? Looks like something you'd wear to dinner, but it's technically a goddess costume. You know those Halloween stores? I love those things. Do you like those? I like to go in there with my kids. And so usually I'm getting them a costume, but I was like, goddess, what does that look like? I want to be a goddess for a minute. So anyway.
You're always a goddess.
Well, I think my husband had a good intention with his comment, like, oh, it looks like something you'd wear to dinner. Anyway, thank you. I really appreciate it. Nothing is worse to a woman than when your husband goes, oh, are you dressed up? I didn't notice. Dawn says she's in her 90s. So anyway, I love it. Show up as you are and just know that I'm happy to be celebrating this incredible holiday with you guys. Okay. Thanks, you guys. So tonight is Samhain Eve. And what I was explaining to everybody here in the room is this is the night when I do my magic. I do my major ritual tonight usually around 10 p.m. to midnight. Because a lot of you have small kids too, and Halloween is their day. So tomorrow I'm volunteering in the kids' classroom and I'm going to be taking my kids around to trick or treat. So Samhain Eve is really my night. And one of the things we do tonight, and I was telling the group in the room historically too, by the way, you need to say hi to everybody who's here because it's a big, beautiful crowd. Look at all these beautiful souls who are here to gather with you in person. I know, it's really cool, isn't it? We have serious sound magic in the room. So the feet will go crazy them saying hi back to you probably. It's really fun. And the way that this holiday for so many of us reflects our desire, bear with me while I get my camera back. When I do that, I really screw it up and I'm sorry. Reflects our desire to make contact with the spirit world. In fact, I got a card today from one of our beautiful customers who said, in honor of my grandma, whose funeral is tonight in Australia, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for always holding sacred space. And so she sent flowers. How beautiful is that? And so I just want to thank all of you for including me in your celebrations tonight, because an important night, and there are lots of things you could be doing. So for you to spend this evening with me is really, really powerful. We only get one of these a year. So tonight I'm doing something different that we have not done before. Thank you, Hilda. Tonight we are doing some shamanic work together. I've done similar work in my online classes, but I haven't done it publicly. And so tonight is a very special opportunity. How many of you have done any kind of shamanic breath work before? What we call rebirthing work. Yeah? So I'm going to teach you the technique. We're going to do a little bit of that breathing together. There's actually 5 steps to tonight's ritual, and I'm going to walk you through what those steps are. I also wrote an invocation for tonight. I know you like it when I do that. So I have a special invocation for tonight. And then I'm going to teach you a little bit about what we call a vogel, which is the crystal that I'm using tonight for the extraction piece of our work together. If you don't have a vogel, that's okay. This is the typical tool that's used for extraction. But as I'm going to teach you tonight, it's really more about the intention you have for the stone that you're working with than it is about the stone itself. And this is really, really true. In fact, I have a quote from Vogel himself to share with you that I think will really inspire you to work with almost any quartz for this purpose. Is there magic to this shape and the cut and everything? There is. There's also magic to quartz itself. I truly believe that there's a reason why silicon dioxide, which is quartz, which is the technical name for quartz, it's on every continent. It's found in every country around the world. It is the most common mineral on the planet, and yet it holds so much magic that we have never used. We've never accessed. It's almost like our brain in a way, right? We think we know everything about it, and yet how much are we using, right? That's the same way I feel about quartz. I have worked with quartz to manifest health, to manifest prosperity, to manifest peace, to heal others, to remove illness from the physical body, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So I hope you're excited about that too. Quartz is very powerful. And it's funny, I did an interview a couple of weeks ago and a woman said, if there was only one crystal, like if her customers were not really familiar with crystals. And she said, if there's only one crystal I was going to be referring people to, what would you recommend? And I said, quartz, hands down. If there's one thing you need to own, it's quartz. And it's because quartz is a magnifying glass. If you want to make your life bigger, if you want to make your purpose bigger, if you want to make your happiness bigger, if you want to make your prosperity bigger, the only thing you need is quartz. And anything will do. A little tiny point, like the free ones that I send you sometimes, that's all you need. That's why I hand it out like candy. And in fact, if I could hand it out on Halloween to kids without being the creepiest mom on the planet, I would do that. I'm not going to. But they're actually, it's really funny. Growing up, I grew up in the same neighborhood where my kids are growing up now. And there was a woman who everybody said, she's a witch. See, she's a witch, right? And we all grew up like, ooh, she's a witch. And she had a big cauldron. And when you came up to her, she would choose something for you from her cauldron. Sometimes it was weird. You know what I mean? Like she had weird things in there. Or there'd be cool things. But that hers was the first house I always wanted to go to. And then my mom had to pull me away, like, listen, Mildred has to go now. So we have, because I was always like, tell me more. Why did you put that in there? What do you do with that cauldron when it's not Halloween? And I was always asking all the questions, right? My mom was like, okay, thanks, Mildred. We got to go. So maybe my love of Halloween started a long time ago. But anyway, so if you have a piece of quartz tonight in place of your vogel, I highly recommend that you work with that. And that would be a really good alternative. I have our candle that we're working with tonight, which is our Samhain candle. And we have our beautiful perfume, which is our Spirit Vine perfume, and our Spirit Vine. So if you have the kit, we're working with those tools. If you don't, you're fine. You'll be able to work with what you have. And a big part of my magical mission with people, I think people get hung up on having to work with certain things for certain times. And obviously I make certain tools for certain times. So I do think there is an importance to that. But I also think that your most powerful magical tool is your mind. And the second most powerful magical tools are your hands. So if you have your brain in your hands, which I'm pretty sure you have those things sort of right now, hopefully, then you're set. You will be able to do what we're doing together tonight. Oh, I'm glad. Okay. Yeah. And so it's beautiful. Angelique says she's working with Hecate, which would be another beautiful perfume. Hecate is the goddess of the threshold, right? She stood between the living and the dead. In fact, it was Hecate who came to Demeter and said, I will take you to your daughter. Remember that story? I will take you to Persephone. I know exactly where she is, and I can negotiate with Hades on your behalf. And so Hecate is the goddess who can take us from here to there and keep us safe. So she would be another really beautiful alternative for tonight. Cindy said she was wondering today if she had a brain. You know what, Cindy, I had that moment today too. If you're going through menopause, it's a question. It's an active question. I have giveaways tonight like you would not believe, too. Like a couple of them. The main one tonight, which is actually we have in-person giveaways and we have online giveaways. This is an online giveaway. This is a chlorite phantom scanner quartz. Because what? You may have to claw it out of Bear's hand. He's over there having like a little bit of a moment right now. So I have some special things for you tonight. So anyway, tonight, all in all, is a very, very special evening. But I really want to welcome you and tell you how grateful I am to have you here. Okay. The medicine of Samhain. By the way, I'm going to give you a 2-second history of Samhain because I was just telling the group in the room. I've done all these interviews this month. It's really nice because mainstream media is coming to me asking me to do things. I did an interview with That's So Retrograde in LA. I don't know if you heard that today, but it was all about Samhain. And it's really fun to see folks in the mainstream curious about what we do and not afraid to ask. Do you know what I mean? And open to hearing the answers tonight too. Samhain means summer's end. Did you know that in Gaelic? That's all it means. It doesn't mean devil worshiper or scary people. I don't know where people go with things like that, but it means summer's end, and so this is the end of summer. And so that is literally what we are acknowledging. Tonight is the last harvest. And what do we pick at the last harvest? It's not anything we can eat. It's the dead, dried fruit from the trees. Do you know what I mean? This is the last harvest. And so what we're going to do tonight when we go through and do the extraction piece of our work together tonight is we're going to get the dried fruit off your tree. Is that okay? Yeah. You've got like a little dead plum over here and like a weird grape over here. And here's the thing. I don't know if my family grew grapes before the war. We were winemakers in Greece. I'm sure it surprises you to no end that my family made wine. But a plant can't rest if it has dead fruit on it. Did you know that? It can't. It will continue to try to send nutrients even when it's dead. Do you do that in relationships too? Do you have a dead fruit on your tree, your relationship tree, and you're like, I'm going to keep that friendship alive, darn it. And it's like that person, no, bye. But tonight that plum gets pulled off the tree and because I want you to be able to rest in the season of rest. What happens when you don't rest in the wintertime is you have adrenal fatigue in the spring. Let me say that again. What happens when you don't rest in the wintertime is you end up with adrenal fatigue in the spring. And so people come to me in spring when I'm like, let's go, we're going to go start creating stuff. And they're like, I'm too tired to create anything. And I always look and say, did you not do you have to follow nature. Nature wants to sleep now, but she's begging you to pull that last dead fruit off the limb so she can go to sleep for a little while. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Okay? We have someone in the room who's not happy about pulling dead fruit off her limb. She'll be fine. Okay, so Samhain means summer's end. Tonight, our moon is in Pisces. She will be in Pisces until November 1st, all the way through Halloween. Moon in Pisces is exploration. It's the dreaming. Yeah? And this is the new year. So tonight is the last night of this year for we Celts, for those of us who are older than time. And so what happened on Samhain Eve, October 31st, in the time of the Celts, which was thousands of years ago, is that the Druid priests would go out into the forest and they would build a fire. And in the fire, they would ask to see visions of the year ahead, mostly for their crops, but also for people. And then they would tell those stories around the fire. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what's coming. And they would do all of this divination work. That is where, by the way, our modern day scrying rituals come from. Does anybody know where apple bobbing comes from? If you guys bob for apples, I don't because it's messy and I can't. Goddesses don't really like to bob for apples. But anyway, if you bob for apples, does anybody know where that comes from? It comes from a goddess. So when the Romans conquered the Celts, okay, they were like, oh, they have these weird things that they do. That's interesting. Let's make them Roman. So instead of celebrating, going out into the forest and building fires, the Romans decided they were going to honor the goddess Pomona, whose totem symbol is the apple. And so Pomona represents fertility and prosperity in different ways. When you slice an apple, how many seeds are there? What's the number of prosperity?
5.
How many directions are there?
5.
How many elements are there?
5.
Okay, so our tradition today of bopping for apples is actually an homage to Pomona herself, because the Romans instituted that as a tradition once they conquered the Celts. Good job, you guys. They're all over it. They're like 5, 5, 5, 5. You have learned well. Whether you learned it from me or somebody else, you have learned well, and I'm proud of you. That's right. There is a full pentagram inside of the apple when you cut. And in fact, when I was in Hogwarts, the way they taught us to drop into beta state and theta state, actually alpha state and theta state meditation, was by closing our eyes and visualizing the apple being sliced in half and then sliced again. And then so there was a whole apple pentagram meditation that we were taught. Anyway, so that's kind of the backstory of all of that. The reason I'm doing a rebirthing ritual with you tonight is that it is the last night of the year, and I want you to step into 2018, the energy of 2018, which begins November 1st. That is the new year. I was telling the group in the room, January 1st comes, and I kind of watch the Rose Parade a little bit, but I don't really set or create resolutions because resolutions are negative. I resolve to lose weight, right? How many of you lose weight when you set a resolution to lose weight? Like that many people, right? But if you set an intention to lose weight, that's a different energy. That's calling in an energy to support you versus setting up something that makes you feel judged or obligated. Does that make sense? And so I don't do resolutions at the new year. I sure do intentions on November 1st. So part of tonight is I want you to think about what will your intentions be for the new year? Did you know that you're going to start creating 2018 tonight? I don't know if you came in the room expecting that, but you sure are. In fact, you've been creating it for quite some time. So even as we prepare for the season of rest, I want you to be thinking tonight about what you're going to create with your intentions. Oh, Leslie says she's joining a workout camp on November 1st. I love that, actually. So the timing is really good. So anything that you're starting in November is really well aspected. By the way, if you missed the full moon ritual this year, don't miss the full moon ritual this year. Okay. I wasn't going to say anything, but it's just like, I have to tell you, the full moon ritual is coming up. That moon is in Taurus, which is the money moon. We are working with prosperity, with the prosperity goddesses. If you are trying to work money magic of any kind, please don't miss the full moon ritual. It's going to be so, so good. Are you guys ready? We rarely have a full moon in Taurus. It just doesn't happen very often. And for me to have all of the world's prosperity goddesses lined up to work with you on that night, come on now. and we're talking about prosperity for 2018, which is a what number year? Add it up. Nope. 2018. It's an 11 year. That's a master number, my friends. If this year coming up isn't your best year yet, I'll be surprised. Truly. I haven't said that. I didn't say 2016 was going to be the best year ever. I didn't say 2017 was going to be the best year ever. They've been tough years. 2018, lids off the box. Okay? It's an 11 year. No. So everything that you desire is at your fingertips. And so tonight begins the process of setting those intentions together. Okay. There are 5 stages to our work tonight. Let me walk you through them. We're going to breathe together. We're going to visualize together. We're going to activate together. We're going to extract together. We're going to get the fruit off the vine. Yeah. I literally just picked a dead grape off of a vine this morning, and I thought, how funny is this? Like, I'm going to tell them about this, and and that grape, do you know that thing hung on like it was glued there? Have you ever noticed that with dead relationships? You know what I mean? Like, you're like trying to yank the thing, and they're like, nope, not going anywhere. And funny enough, usually that happens with relationships where they're like, oh, I'm going to leave, and then you go, okay, you go to pull the fruit, and they're like, no, I'm just kidding, I don't want to leave. Have you noticed that? Nope, they got to go. And then the last stage tonight is integration. And then you'll be free to go home and do your own solitary work this evening. Okay. Any questions before we get started? In the room, in the feed? What I just talked about was kind of complicated, so I'm glad it's making sense to you. Yes, please.
Should we do anything tomorrow night?
Yeah. So you can, one of the things you could do, so I'm kind of doing tomorrow night tonight in a way because I'm going to be with my kids tomorrow night. So what you could do is redo this. I was telling the group in the room, I have a solitary ritual that I do tonight, which you could do tomorrow, which is I charge a piece of quartz on Samhain every year for the year ahead. Okay. We may not get to that part tonight. So one of the things you could do tomorrow night is charge your quartz. If you have your Vogel, this is the piece to charge. But any quartz that you have, I mean, truly any piece of quartz. This is one of my most powerful pieces of quartz. It sits on my altar all the time. It's actually about the same size as my Vogel. It's a scepter. And so it's just always here. And this is the piece that I've actually been feeling like I'm supposed to charge for 2018. So I may end up working with that one. Charge a piece of quartz tomorrow night if we don't do it tonight for 2018. And all you do is encode that crystal or that quartz. Let me tell you, Megan's asking how you charge it. So let me tell you, any piece of quartz that feels right to you. What I like to do when I say encode, I imagine my intention for the new year. And I imagine those words inside. Okay, that's how I do it. You can do it any way. But you know how CNN has a ticker running all the time at the bottom of the screen that my ADD won't let me not look at? Okay, so I'm trying to pay attention, but I'm watching because usually there's important stuff there, you know, that they're not talking about. I imagine almost like a CNN ticker in here with my intention. Does that make sense? Okay, and I look at it until I can see it, and then I know it's coded and encrypted. And then I don't use this for anything else. So what I'm probably going to do, whichever piece I use, I'm probably going to end up having wire wrapped to wear. And then what I do is the last night of the year, bless you, that this is charged for, I bury it. It's beautiful, right? So it's a whole cycle. Yes, please.
Is it one intention per crystal?
I like to do it that way because it feels clean to me. So if you want to do multiple intentions, I would say charge multiple crystals. Quartz is very intelligent, but it can get confused. For example, I've had people who charge their quartz and then give it to somebody else. My quartz is like, I thought you and I had like a thing, you know, and honestly, in almost every case, it wants to go back to the person. Quartz will call itself back. I've had people return quartz where they're like, nope, not mine. So it's a really great question. I would do one intention per crystal is my recommendation. Yes.
So once we set the intention,
yes,
should we leave it in our room? Should we carry it with us?
I'm probably going to wear mine this year, but it's up to you. You know,
so and more than one, wear one.
Yeah, well, that could get weird. I mean, if you have like 9, you know what I mean? Like, if you have, if you're setting 9 intentions, no, you're not going to. I mean, I would not wear the 9 together. But if you listen to your quartz, it will tell you. I really find quartz to be intelligent and communicative. And it might not tell you in like a voice, but it'll start showing you, like, put me in your purse. Nope, don't put me in your purse. You'll get like, whoop, got to get it out of there kind of thing. And it's just a hunch that you might have, but that's your quartz communicating with you in pretty magical ways too. So that's my recommendation for tomorrow night. And what's really fun is you can do this with your kids. You can do this with your sister. You can do this with your girlfriends. Maybe you can do it with your partner. My partner goes on the journey with me to a certain place, and he's like, I'm not programming quartz. You know what I mean? Like, I love you, and I'm in this. I don't want to do that. So I have you, and I have some girlfriends, and I have my kids. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta kind of pick your battles with things like that. You can charge your quartz by speaking to it. You can charge your quartz by singing to it. You can charge your quartz by putting it next to other stones that have properties that you're trying to infuse the quartz with. You can sit in meditation and pray with your quartz. So there's all different kinds of ways to. Lady Grace says that's my partner too. They're still good partners, but they have a limit. You know what I mean? You have to just be careful with that. Okay. Okay. Briefly about Vogels. So Marcel Vogel, this is a type of a cut. As I've explained in social, Marcel Vogel did not cut these for you. Marcel Vogel is dead. He died in 1991. There are people who cut Vogel crystals. Fortunately or unfortunately, they charge an exorbitant amount of money for those crystals. For what it's worth, I do a lot of shamanic work with Vogel type crystals, crystals that are cut in the Vogel tradition, but not cut to the scientific precision, okay? And with great success. So it really is up to you. There are purists who will not do shamanic work without a crystal that is signed off by Vogel or by a Vogel designate, and that's up to you. I have found that I need more of the shape of the crystal and the intention of the carving of the crystal than the actual degrees of carving of the crystal itself. It's up to you, okay? And it's up to your budget too. I would say that too. So Marcel Vogel was a research scientist. He was at IBM for 27 years. He was interested in man-plant and man-stone communication, okay? So he believed that our crystals communicate with us. I know some other crazy people who also believe that the crystals communicate with them. He believed that crystals were charged by virtue of what he called a cohering agent. And do you know what he thought the most powerful cohering agent in the planet or on the planet was? Anyone know? The most powerful energy to charge a crystal with is love. He believed that was the most powerful cohering agent. And in fact, he said that you could use love to charge any crystal to do similar work to the work that his crystals were doing, which I thought was really interesting. Now, here's where Vogel was very early, I think, in his study of quantum mechanics. The idea of quantum mechanics is that the part contains the whole. I don't want to get super scientific with you tonight, but I sure do geek out on this stuff because I flip and love it. Okay. Yeah. Karen Peter says, what is crazy anymore? I don't even know. Quantum mechanics gets me really excited, so I'm going to control myself. So the idea of quantum mechanics is, did you know that every cell in your body contains the formula to create you? Did you know that? That's why stem cell therapy will work. I banked my daughter's cord blood because of my faith in quantum mechanics, okay? Because of my faith that when my daughter was born, every cell in her blood contained the blueprint for her entire body, and I knew it, okay? So people think, oh, you know, stem cell research is so weird and we don't really understand it. Really, it's quantum mechanics. The part contains the whole. I can recreate, potentially, right, life from a cell. Is that not true? Yep. So the same thing goes with quartz. And so what Marcel Vogel actually said is, the primary unit of quartz contains all the information needed to generate the ultimate form, meaning any quartz contains the ultimate form of the energy of quartz itself. And every part of quartz contains the whole. So as the quartz is forming, it already has the energy, the strength of the energy it will have in its final and carved form. Is that incredible? Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So every cell in your body can recreate you in a way, right? The tiniest cell has your whole blueprint. At the tiniest molecule of this quartz contains the whole. And so that's why I'm saying, you know, you can go and buy the most expensive thing. I still think it comes down to your intention, your hands, and the magic of the material itself. Does that make sense? Okay. But that's the world according to Athena and my 2 cents. You know. Okay. Any questions before we begin? I know it is kind of mind-blowing. It's really true. And by the way, that quantum physics is nothing more than that. So you can make it all kinds of complicated. The reality is it really boils down to the tiniest fractions of reality have the potential to create all of reality, which is how I built Sage Goddess from a vision.
It was your intention, though.
It was my intention, but the part contained the whole, right? So my initial vision is exactly right. The initial vision that I had contained enough to create the whole, if I believed it, right? So if there's one healthy cell in your body, what does that mean? Your entire health is sitting right there. And so all you have to do is activate, which we're going to do tonight, that one cell. Are you ready for this? This is quantum healing, you guys. This is, if you can believe, and this is why I'm telling you, and when I tell people, oh, I've witnessed absolute miracles and anything is possible, and I'm manifesting miracles in my life right now, when I tell you I believe, it's because there's science behind it. This isn't just gobbledygook, you know, woo-woo, Harry Potter, whatever. Although I love Harry Potter. And I don't think it's woo-woo, whatever. Okay.
What house are you?
What?
What Hogwarts house are you?
You know what's funny is I love it and I don't love it because it's. I sometimes think about Harry Potter and whether it's really advanced our conversations about magic or not. That's a conversation I would like to have at some point. Just as I wonder sometimes about the craft and practical magic and whether those things advanced us or I don't know. So anyway, we could talk all night long about that. Oh, that's funny. Renee says she's Ravenclaw. I like it. And we have a Slytherin. We have a Hufflepuff. I would probably say Gryffindor. I would have to say, if I had to identify. Anyway, I was saying, in fact, we were talking in my interview today about practical magic, and I said, I'd love to ask my kids one day because I am that mom. And so whether it's actually cool when you have it versus sitting there going, I wish that was my mom. When they're the ones lighting up the tree and when they're the ones moving the broom, is it really all that cool? I don't know. I'll have to ask them 10 years from now and see if they really were happy with their choice. They seem pretty happy, so we'll leave it at that. Okay. Roll your shoulders back, close your eyes. Woo! Letting go of anything that is distracting you from this beautiful moment. It's just so good to be here with you. Practical magic's one of my favorites too. I sure do love a lime and a coconut. Okay, but you know what? As I get older, I'm starting to look like, somebody told me I'm starting to look like, what's her name? One of the crazy aunties with the dark hair. What's her name? Which one? Yeah, Stalker Channing. And I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So we're just rolling your shoulders back, calling your energy into present time. Put your hands on your knees with your palms facing up. Oh, thank you. I'll take Sandra Bullock. I'm just, Sandra Bullock sounds about right for me right now. I hope I evolve into Dr. Channing. No, I do think she's one of the most beautiful women. And just imagining that out of your left hand extends a beautiful white beam of light, about 4 to 6 inches in diameter. That white beam of light that you're holding in your left hand is the energy that will surround this circle. It is magic itself. I want you to imagine that white beam of light unfolding from out of your left hand into the right hand of the person who's sitting next to you, virtually or here in person in the room. It'll go through their energy centers and out of their left hand and into the right hand of the person sitting next to them. And in that way, the energy will move clockwise around our circle tonight, returning to you in your right hand. Hands getting nice and warm now. Do you feel it? Sending around that circle tonight because our planet needs it. Just sending love, understanding, appreciation, clarity, leadership, strength, possibility, healing, love as the greatest cohering agent, according to Marcel Vogel. So we send those cohering agents around the circle tonight. And that energy will come back to you in your right hand. And when it does, you'll be holding the energy and the essence of our circle together. And then just keep your eyes closed while I read a new invocation for our ritual tonight. This is a very traditional part of ritual if you're new, so just enjoy. Tonight I feel the call, and I answer it, unafraid. I used to wait for others. I used to ask permission. I used to honor the power without more than the power within, until I learned that I am surrounded all the time by a tribe that knows my name. That is a tribe of the dead and the never dead, those who across the veil of time and space are with me in every moment, and they are awaiting my call too. And when I call, they answer. You and I exist in a reciprocal system, and it is time for you to see how surrounded you are in every moment, and how we both are joined to each other in this web of life and blood. Energy and time unites us. When I scare you, you force a separation. When you scare me, I force a separation. But it is a facade, this separation, because I am you and you are me and we are them. One day I will see your spirit, absent ego, and I will tell you that I know you when we find each other on the spirit side. And you will tell me that you know me too. And we will find each other there. For now we are here. We are here. We are here. We work the human medicine of time and third dimension possibility on this holiest of holy Sabbaths. Ancestor spirits, I summon you. Offer us passage on this Samhain Eve. Bid us welcome into your spirit home and show us the ways of wisdom. Spirit guides, I summon you. Offer us passage on this Samhain Eve and show us the ways of peace. And ascended masters, I summon you. Offer us passage on this Samhain Eve and show us the ways of magic. Gatekeepers of the four directions, thank you for turning your gaze toward us this evening. We honor your sacred presence and thank you for your blessings, for you are welcome here. Offer us passage through these directional portals tonight. As we pass, show us the ways of balance. With gratitude for all, together we say, Amen. Amen. And so it is. I call to the direction of East, element of air, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, and ones who breathe new life into being. Air, lift us beyond fear tonight to a place of grounded understanding, to a place where we can meet each other where we are and love each other without hesitation. Help us to breathe deeply and on the exhale, release any resistance to this moment. We are here, you are here, we are here. Together we create a new beginning tonight and prepare ourselves for deep rest in the season to come. I call to the direction of south, element of fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and those who burn for what they love. Fire burn within us and remind us that our passion lies in our deepest power. Help us to summon the wilderness within and help us to keep the fires lit through winter, through winds and rain. Help us to burn down to ashes anything left in our lives from the harvest that does not belong with us in the season of rest. We are here, you are here, we are here, and together we create space for what is possible in our lives. I call to the direction of west, element of water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and those who honor the power of the flow. Water remind us that our feelings are not to be feared, even the craziest feelings, the sad ones, the really scary ones. Are you having scary feelings right now? It's the shadow season. If you're not, all I can tell you is they probably haven't surfaced yet. Help us surrender to our giant waves, to your giant waves, any of our worries and cares that we can no longer lift. We are here, you are here, we are here, water. And together we can create a new channel for flow in our lives tonight. Teach us to honor the river that flows from our mind to our heart and back to Gaia always. Last, I call to the direction of north, element of earth, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and those whose roots extend deep into the mysterious lands. Earth, ground us tonight and protect us. Teach us to listen more than we speak. This is big for some of you. And to trust more than we fear. Remind us in whispers to put our feet into the grass and our hands on your trees and guide us back to the old ways that our ancestors knew so well, the ways they lived and honored. We are here, you are here, we are here, and together we know we can manifest the invisible, create the impossible, and birth the unimaginable. My wish for you tonight and always, especially as we enter this new year together, is that the delicate and powerful balance of these elements will make itself known to you tonight and always. Together we say, Amen. Hope you enjoyed that for you tonight. I will post that tomorrow, so you don't have to type that. You'll just have it. Okay, so we have our Samhain candle. I'm going to light mine now. You're welcome to light yours too. Oh, good, you can actually see me lighting it, which is kind of nice. Okay, Spirit Vine perfume. Spirit Vine is Banisteriopsis copy from the Amazon rainforest. some anointing. There's Palo Santo in this, which also comes from the Amazon rainforest. A little bit for what I know, a little bit for what I do, a little bit for where I go. Banisteriopsis copy. By the way, this is a cross section. So you can imagine a long piece of the branch, okay? So the bee copy vine just grows and grows and grows. I grow it at my house, and it's just, you can't even direct that vine. It's going to go where it wants to go. It's a beautiful wild vine. This is a cross section of it. You mix this with Psychotria vidris, which is called chacruna, and those two things together make what's called ayahuasca, which is a very sacred tea that includes DMT, which they call the spirit molecule. Has anyone journeyed with DMT? You know, bucket list. Not tonight. I do 3 deep inhales when I want to use a scent shamanically. That creates a touchstone between your modern mind, your conscious mind, and your ancient mind, which is where your olfactory bulb sits in the limbic system. And so when you inhale, your conscious mind connects to the limbic system, which doesn't have the capacity to speak or create language. So you couldn't actually describe to me what this means to you, but you could draw symbols of it. You could dance it, but your old brain doesn't have language. Isn't that interesting? So don't try to describe this perfume because there's really no way to describe it, but your soul knows it. I'm glad you guys are loving it. Okay. Okay. And then we have our Vogel to do our journey with. So if you have your art, one of the ways I use my art, and you can use it tonight this way, I'm not going to be using it myself this way, but I do when I'm doing this meditation on my own, is gaze here, let your vision soften until you start to go into trance. This is the flower of life. And actually this image right here is actually a flower of life that was sown by the, oh, what is the word? I'm going to lose my word there. It'll come back to me. Shipibo, people of Peru. This was hand sewn. This is actually a photograph of it. So this is an original flower of life sewn onto fabric by the Shipibo people of the Amazon rainforest in Peru. And so you're actually looking at a very sacred piece of art that was handmade. So one of the things you can do is just gaze at this until your vision goes soft. It will take you on a very powerful journey, but you can do that tonight with me, or you can do that separately. So rolling your shoulders back, again, just calling yourself into present time. Close your eyes. So the first step of our ritual tonight is the breath. And here's the breath that we're going to do. We're not going to do it for very long, but if you do this for 10 minutes or so, you will go into a different state of awareness. And so you may get there. Some of you who are experienced will get there very quickly. Some of you, it would take you longer. So just kind of notice your own body's reaction to it. The breath is an inhale and an exhale, but it's continuous, okay? And your mouth is closed the whole time. So it feels or sounds like this. Ready? And your natural instinct is to pause, but you can't because you want to continue to oxygenate. That is the rebirthing breath, okay? So when we start the breath, we're going to do this, and then I'm going to guide you directly into a visualization with normal breath, and then I'm going to lead you into the activation, and then I'm going to have you open your eyes for the extraction, okay? You don't have to do anything. I'll take you all the way through. Any questions, though, before we begin? One last nice exhale out the mouth so you can really release everything from your diaphragm. And I'm going to hold my spirit vine as we do this breath. It's up to you. If you have it, I would recommend it because it will connect you with that energy. It'll take you a little bit deeper. So I like to hold it in my left hand and cover it with my right. Spirit guides, we ask you to come closer as we engage the breath. And as we participate in breath work and this rebirthing, we know that with each inhale and each exhale, we are releasing and stepping into a new version of ourselves, releasing and stepping into a new version of ourselves, releasing and stepping into a new version of ourselves. This is literally a chance for you energetically to be reborn tonight. If you don't think your breath is powerful, you haven't worked with it yet. What happens when you stop breathing? Bye. Okay, don't do that tonight, please. We're all good right here. We want to stay on this side of the veil. Spirit guides, as we open the breath, we ask that you pull back the curtain of the veil so that we can step through with our breath. This new life will come with visions and inspiration from the other side. And so gently, as you feel ready in this beautiful container, I want you to begin the breath cycle. And we're going to breathe together for about 3 minutes. Just the inhale and the exhale, the inhale and the exhale. And keep your thoughts soft. Focus totally on the breath, the inhale and the exhale. And let it be as easy as picking up the breath and dropping it. Picking it up and dropping it. Picking it up and dropping it. Are you ready? And stay as continuous as you can. And just keeping the mouth closed. Inhale and exhale. And just inhale, exhale. Letting go, coming back. 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 And you'll start to feel a little lightheaded, just a little. And if it gets to be too lightheaded, you can stop. If you like it, you just keep on going. That's right. Don't think. Just keep going. And you don't have to rush. Just inhale, exhale. Easy, easy. Inhale, exhale. You feeling floaty? Good for you. Dizzy? That's okay. You're not driving right now. Inhale, exhale. Spirit guides surrounding you. I'm coming closer now. And let's do 10 more breaths together. Ready? Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And 2 more. And then just come back to the regular breath now. And no, that's not the spirit of mind making you high. That's just your breath, my loves. Your breath is the most powerful thing. 5 more minutes of that, and you'd be in a very different place than you are right now. Which, by the way, if you want to do that later tonight or tomorrow, it's a follow-up ritual. You can totally do that. And now keep your eyes closed for the visualization. So I want you to imagine standing before you are all of the many spirit guides who've been with you as you've been breathing. And to the right side, they're holding back a beautiful velvet curtain. I always imagine it's a big, beautiful burgundy velvet curtain. And holding to the left side, the other side of that big, beautiful velvet curtain. And as they pull that curtain back, they're inviting you from this soft place. Isn't it beautiful? They're inviting you from this soft place to cross the veil with them tonight. And if you're ready, if you feel ready, I want you to step through that curtain. They're holding it open for you tonight, as they can, and only tonight. We only have 48 hours left with them. And as you step through that veil, it's one step, but it's profound. On the other side of the veil, all time collapses. There's no past, present, or future. Time just collapses in on itself. And across this veil is every soul that has ever incarnated since the beginning of time, and every soul that will ever incarnate until the end of time. Every moment in those Akashic records is recorded here. So as you step forward across the veil, I want you to notice the total equanimity, the total equality of this moment. Here, the living and the dead are equal. Here, the poor and the rich are equal. Here, the young and the old are the same age. Here, every soul has wisdom. And here's the most important thing for you. Are you ready? Here, everyone is you. You're not different. You're not ignored. You're not alone. You're not sad. There's no disease here. There's no time here. There's no hatred here. There's no sadness here. These are foreign. These are human things. You must leave them on this side of the veil. As you step forward, the only thing to bring with you is love, compassion, faith, and the essence of who you are beyond all of those things. Spirit guides, ancestors, we come toward you tonight, and we pray that each of our ancestors on the other side will speak our names tonight, and that you will recognize us. And if you have questions tonight, if you brought a question forward for your ancestors, or if you just need support tonight, I want you to feel the complete embrace of this space, this time outside of time. Take a moment now to just feel what it feels like to be completely held, equal, whole, powerful, loving, compassionate, seen, understood, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Just sending love to whoever that siren is for. Staying in this meditation. Spirit guides, what message do you have for this person tonight who's come forward? Please give it to them now. Symbols, sounds, smells, memories that come flooding back to you now. What is this person, this soul who's coming before you tonight, spirit guides? What are they supposed to do in the new year? What are they supposed to know? What are they supposed to create? Show them tonight. What skills are they going to develop in the year ahead? What challenges will they face, and how can you strengthen them now? Ancestors, as we come across to visit you, I know all of us pray that you're proud of us. We are standing in your footsteps. We give thanks to you. We are because you were. Down your maternal line, I want you to turn and face the mother line. Mother, aunt, grandmother, great-grandmother, great-aunt, great-great-grandmother, all the way down. The women. Your whole line turns to face you now. What will you ask them? What do you need from them? What can you give to them? Forgiveness? What can you receive from them? Support? Inspiration? Knowledge? Wisdom? Affirmation? What did you need that you didn't get from the maternal line? We thank you, mothers and aunts, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, all the way down the line. And down that maternal line, grandmothers, mothers, what is not healed that needs to be healed tonight so that you can rest and so that we can grow? To the father line, to the brothers and fathers and uncles, the grandfathers, the great-grandfathers, all the way down the father's line. What can you give to the father's line tonight? Forgiveness? Gratitude? And what do you need from the father line that you did not get? Acknowledgement? Encouragement? Love? Stand and receive tonight from this place of healing. Remember that once they cross, they move into this oneness too. They so wish they could come back to you and tell you now. You were right. It is all oneness on the other side. So let them tell you now. Let them tell you now how proud they are. Let them tell you now how much they love you. Let them tell you now how much they see you. Let them tell you now that you're okay, that everything's going to be okay. They're proud of your children, aren't they? You're doing a good job. They're proud of the way you take care of people in your lives. They see you. They see all of your efforts and they see how you struggle. And they hold space for you because they're not struggling anymore. And Kenneth, I see you in the feed. I see you, Megan. I see you. Ascended Masters, higher self, what messages do you have from us before we return from the veil? And it's okay. The tears are one way you release energy. Don't hold tears back. You should never hold tears back. They're cleansing. Thank you, Kenneth. Okay, are you ready to activate? Standing in the long shadows of your lines, I want you to pull in all that you have received tonight from the mother line. And I want you to pull it down to the right side of your body. That's the mother side. All of that. Let yourself just receive. Everything from the father line, pulling it down to your left side. Let yourself receive. If you've been suffering with pain on your right side or discomfort, that's a lack of healing on the mother line. If you've been suffering from pain on your left side, that is lack of healing on the father line. So if you're noticing pain or discomfort in your body, I want you to begin the activation process now. So that looks like calling all of the mother energy on the right, calling all of the father energy at the left, and integrating at the heart space. That's how you activate this energy. So I want you to imagine all that energy coming through your right arm towards your heart, your left arm towards your heart. And I like to actually hold my heart while I'm integrating, activating. Spirit guides, we ask that you activate the forgiveness, the healing, the love. Tonight, so powerful. I can feel every single one of you online. I can truly feel you. In my heart and in my soul, I can feel what's happening. And if your mother's still alive and your father's still alive, trust me, your grandfather and your grandmother, or grandfathers and grandmothers, is trying to heal that through you right now. Let them do it. They know your father and mother better than you do, probably. Let them do the healing. The grandmothers, the grandfathers are speaking. Let them speak. Don't crowd it with, but I can't, or I should. Don't do that. This is the activation now. Let them move through your heart space. We thank you for this healing, for this awareness, for this expansion, for the fundamental changes in our life that we know are going to be a result of this work tonight. We receive. We are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I want you to take notice in your body. Take your Vogel if you haven't, if you're not holding it already. I want you to take notice in your body of any discomfort in this moment, because it's a sign to you. And if you have chronic pain, work with that place. But I really want you to notice in your body right now, do you have any tightness or discomfort in any place in your body? Mine is in my right shoulder down, I would say sort of my sciatic, okay? But I have mother stuff, yeah? Okay. Throat chakra is about your truth, right? So, Brittany, I see you. The throat gets tight. That's you needing to speak some truth right now, yeah? Kaylee's got right backside. The thickest point of your Vogel is where you do your extraction work from. So here's what we're going to do. Are you ready? To extract, you need to have a container to hold what you extract. So I want you to imagine to your right side, go ahead and open your eyes. I want you to imagine opening in the floor next to you on your right side a container where you will send the pain, the discomfort, the agitation that you've been feeling. You're going to send it there, okay? And that you open it clockwise with your finger. You just want to open a container to send this energy to. You can't extract things and not tell them where to go. They won't leave, okay? And then what you're going to do, almost with a scooping motion with your Vogel, is you're going to go into that place. I'm going to work on my back. You're going to go into that place and gently begin to move your Vogel in this way, sort of a scooping with the widest point toward the place, and begin to extract the energies. And it's more of a go where the pain is and go about 6 inches out from your body, because you're working in the etheric field. You're not working on your physical body, okay? And just begin to imagine pulling out the pain that you're feeling, and then it goes down into the container that you opened, okay? Pulling out and down. Pulling out and down. Grandmothers, grandfathers, down the lines, we ask for your help. Spirit guides, we ask for your guidance as we find these places and spaces. If you don't have a crystal, you can do this later. So just work with us now. And then when you're done, you have to seal that container, okay? You don't want that energy just sitting there. So counterclockwise with your finger, closing the space that you opened where you sent that energy to, closing it. And I always just put my right hand down over it to seal it, okay? So you're sealing that space. We send this energy that we've removed tonight down to the very center of the earth, the molten core, where it can be transformed and transmuted into usable white light. We release this energy from our physical and etheric bodies in service of our total wholeness, wellness, and healing. Tonight and always, we release these energies for the highest good of all, including our own highest good. Together we say Amen, Aho, and so it is. It's amazing. I mean, for me, it's always amazing what a shift that is, because I instantly felt myself tighten. When I start working with the mother line, that's my thing, you know? And I just feel like somebody massaged me just now. Whew. With ease and grace. That's right, Alice. So it shall be. Okay, last step. Are you ready? We're a few minutes over the top of the hour, but this is really important work. And we're almost done. Don't stop the tears. Keep the tears going. Tears are good. We're taught as a culture to tell people to stop crying. Have you noticed that? Stop crying. You should never stop crying. Your body will stop crying when the work is done. Integration. I will tell you, this is the deepest ritual I think I've ever done with you in this way. And so I want to thank you for being willing to do this work tonight. Spirit guides and ancestors, we're going to bid you farewell. It's always hard to do that. I do the work too. We thank you for your love and your support. We feel it. And we do hope we're making you proud. We're trying so hard. When you're ready, I want you to take a step back from that veil. You're not ready to stay there yet. And spirit guides, we ask that as we cross back, that you will close the curtain behind us. We thank you for your presence and your support, and for being available in this space tonight to work with us in this way. We honor you and your memory, and we will see you again. We will see you again. One day, the sadness of having to leave you all the time won't be there. Thank you for seeing me too, because I see all of you. So as you step back and the curtain closes, as it must, I want you to imagine from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, I want you to imagine encasing your entire body in a sphere or an egg of the most beautiful white light. And just for a minute, I want you to marinate in what just happened to you. I want you to incubate in it just for a few seconds. The love, the support, the validation, the encouragement, the release, the healing, the letting go, the forgiveness. Your body has longed for this moment. It's been trying to get you here by making you hurt through pain, because sometimes your body can only communicate with you through pain. When you won't listen, how else is it supposed to get the message to you? Your body's been hurting, your mind has been cluttered, your anxiety has gotten worse, you haven't been sleeping. And it's okay. And it's okay. Because this is a new day and a new year. And you're going to step into that new year from this place. This is a higher place. Spirit guides, we thank you for the integration tonight, for the ability to pull all of this together in service of the higher good. When it gets hard for us, please surround us with your love. Put your arms around us. When the world is unkind, please find someone to show us compassion. When we're confused and anxious, please quiet our minds. Put your arms around us. Give us a sweet dream. When we lose our way, bring us a teacher or a guide to bring us back. And we give thanks for the integration tonight. Amen. Aho, and so it is. And then if you want to do one more thing that I do to seal this is I anoint one more time and I inhale 3 more times, because then my body comes to know that this is what integration smells like. Whatever scent you're associating it with. I want you to have a smell for this so that every time your body smells that smell, it goes integration, you're back. So beautiful. Nathan says, I saw my family I've never seen before and it was priceless. I love that. I see you. Yes, Bethany says, is it okay that I'm not upset? Look, I'm not a crier either. But it is okay. In fact, this could be a really happy occasion for you. Truly. It can be a very happy occasion and you can celebrate that. Aw, I love that you're able to hold your dog again. Seeing your mom tonight, how beautiful that is. Seeing your papa tonight, I love that. Woo. When you feel ready to let them go. Until next year, they'll be back. Like clockwork, in fact. They come knocking. Hello, hello. Hi. We're dead, but we're here. My mom was there when her sister died, and she was the only one in the room. And my aunt her sister was 39. She had 5 children. This was in 1980, so it's going on 30 years ago now. And when my aunt died, she was in a hospital, but the alarms didn't go off. So doctors kept telling her if she dies, the alarms will go off. And so she saw the line go flat, but there was no bells or anything. What they said was going to happen. My mom had never seen anyone pass away. And so she just sat there and the line was flat. And she said it was so still in the room that she could have heard a pin drop and she didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do in that moment? Do you run, go get somebody? Maybe it's not really happening. My aunt had told her that she didn't want to be resuscitated. And my mom said I was sitting there and I was watching the flat line and I couldn't stop watching the flat line until something started moving in my peripheral vision. And she said, here was my sister laying in the bed and here was her soul. And it just went through the door, out the hallway. And as soon as my mom saw her soul pass through the door, the alarm started going. And my mom drew. I was a little kid the first time she showed me that drawing. And it was shaped like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a diamond almost. But the pattern she drew on it, I swear to you, was the flower of life. And when I first showed my mom the flower of life, when I first learned about that symbol, my mom just shook her head. She said, how? How was that what I saw? And she said, when my aunt's spirit, it was a combination of a flower of life and her, okay? And she said, when it left her body, she said, I was sitting there and it stopped in front of me and it hovered like this. And then it went out the door and down the hallway. And my mom, when the doctor came in and they said she's gone and all the stuff, my mom was just sort of like, I know she's gone. I just saw her leave. And the doctor said, what did you see? And my mom drew it. Okay. And the doctor looked at my mom. It's a true story. This happened here in Huntington Beach in California. The doctor looked at my mom. It was the middle of the night. And she was telling her bye. They were best friends, right? And the doctor said, ma'am, I'm not a Christian. Because my mom had told the doctor that she was a Christian. She said, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religious person. But I've been practicing medicine for a long time. And this is the story I hear every day. Same thing, same diamond shape with that pattern. And that it stops and then it goes. And he wrote a book. Because he said at this point, even though I don't believe in God, how many times can you hear this exact story before you say this is true. So thank you tonight for being brave enough to see, because there's much to see if you're willing. I'm very proud of you. And so all that beautiful energy of our circle came back to you in your right hand. You will release it from your right hand now. I see you, Aunt Joyce. And it'll work its way counterclockwise. And when it does, please turn your left hand upside down. It's actually a beautiful thing, right? My aunt suffered a lot, so it was time, and she's in a better place. And then we're just going to ground that energy down into the very center of the earth, where it can be used for those who need it. Thanks, you guys, for seeing me too. Mm-hmm. Guardians of the North, thank you for grounding us tonight, keeping us safe and protected. We release you, Guardians of the West. Thank you for all these beautiful tears. Some of you said they were ugly tears, but I don't know. We release you, Guardians of the South. It took courage to get us here. We thank you for it. We release you, Guardians of the East. As we approach this new year, I ask that you bless every person in this room. Health, happiness, prosperity, and time to enjoy them all. It's always my toast. May you know health, happiness, and prosperity, and may you have time to enjoy them all. To everyone who's online in the new year, may you have health, happiness, and prosperity, and time to enjoy them all. To everyone who will be watching later, because people are still watching last year's Samhain ritual, even years later. May you enjoy health, happiness, and prosperity, and may you have time to enjoy them all. Amen. And so it is. Happy New Year, everyone. Whew. I am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful that you were here. We have some giveaways to do, which is going to change the vibe here real fast. Happy New Year. You should go home and put like a little party hat on and the blowers and stuff. We should do all of that we do in January on tonight, don't you think? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do my online giveaways first, and then I'm going to do my in-person giveaways second because I'll log off. Look, I have a pumpkin for you. I don't like pumpkins. I have to be honest with you, because they just, I don't know. I'm kind of OCD and they rot and stuff and it freaks me out. So this is my kind of pumpkin. I know, I'm just being honest. Like they gross me out a little bit. So I still do it because I have kids, but this is my kind of pumpkin. You can still draw a face on it and it doesn't rot. Sorry. My Scorpio moon daughter loves it when they rot. She's like, it's rotting. I love it. Okay. I'm going to choose a winner. This is orange calcite, by the way. This is for sex and impotence. But it also is creativity. If that helps or not. Don't feel weird saying you want it. No judgment. So who feels called to this? I'd love to choose one. The Eternal Pumpkin. That's right. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have an instant hit on this. Instant. Hey, Walter Cora. Hey, Walter. Walter's in GemWise. I know Walter. I think this is for you. And he loves it. He said, I love it. That's so cool. Hey, Walter, it comes with a stand, too. So you'll be able to put it right on your stand right away. This one, by the way, Walter, do you know why this one's so important? Did you know that when there's a line all the way around your stone, it becomes a wishing stone? Did you know that? So, Walter, when you get this, make a wish, because this has the complete perfect line, and this is the new year. So I hope, Walter, my intention for you is whatever wish that you make on this sphere, I hope it comes to pass for you in perfect time. Doesn't get much better than that. Okay, I have one more giveaway. You ready? You guys are going to lose your damn mind. You ready? This is a phantom chlorite scanner quartz from Minas Gerais, Brazil. Hand cut, hand polished. I've never seen that many chlorite lines in a phantom. Holy smokes. Okay. The way you use a scanner is you move up and down the body, and once you start to work with this piece, you'll be able to see whoever's in front of you, areas of disease in the body. This is a stone for medical intuitive work. Does that make sense? Yeah. The feed is like out of control. I don't even know what to do right now. Woo! I love that you guys are so excited. It looks like quartz lasagna. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Rachel Thomas said, "Holy sh," and you're absolutely right. That's exactly what this is. Okay. Hi, Kimberly from Bay Area saying hello. I sure do remember you. How are you? It's really good to see you. I miss my Bay Area days, except I don't miss your weather right now. Your rainy season is starting. Okay, you ready? Hi, Rose Ames. Say hi to Rose. Rose, hi, Rose. Rose says that this will help her cope with her broken heart, and she will use it in her Reiki practice, which I love. Hey, Rose. Hey, Rose. All right, Rose. Cheers, cheers, cheers to you, my sister. Honestly, Rose, I've never seen a piece like this before. I don't own anything like this. I've never seen anything like it. I picked it up and I kind of wanted it to feel like it was mine, and it wasn't. So I was like, well, all right. And it's so funny. They're so clear to me. And most things are not mine. It's a really funny thing. Almost nothing is mine. In fact, I keep very little. It's not my job to keep. It's my job to give. Isn't that beautiful? Love. Okay, Rose. We love you, Rose. Happy New Year, Rose. I hope this blesses your Reiki practice. Hope your Reiki practice grows and flourishes in the new year, and you'll have to let us know how that goes for you. And may your heart heal in every way. All right, you guys. Sweet dreams. Happy New Year. I will see you soon. We have full moon ritual on Friday. Okay, here's the thing with full moon. And I think I said this before, but let me reiterate. Full moon, Taurus, Friday, money ritual with all of the prosperity goddesses. If you have enough money and you're happy, great. I think most of us could probably use something. So I would really love to see you for full moon ritual on Friday at 6 p.m. here in the shop and online. I will see you guys then. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being here.